It's kDrama FANatics here, and welcome back to my channel. Episode 4 of When the Phone Rings starts by taking us back to the moment Sa-eon receives a call from the nursing home regarding his father-in-law. The president offered him his official vehicle to get there quicker. We circle back to Sa-eon, picking Hee-joo by the roadside. Of course, he asked the officers to keep the matter private and promises to drop by the station to give a statement. He promises to take a picture with the policeman too. After this, Sa-eon takes Hee-joo to his car and allows her to cry as much as she wants. He teases her for being ugly when she cries, and he promises to get a secure place for her dad. Later, he reminds her they were supposed to meet with his parents for dinner. Instead of taking her home, he takes her to the hotel where he is meeting his parents and gets a room for her to rest. Before that, he asks her to talk and brings up the kidnapper. He starts by saying he can't report the case to the police as the victim. He asks if there is something she is hiding, and she does not deny or confirm. He realizes there must be something, but he claims he won't push her to tell him. In the hotel room, Hee-joo cleans her face and enjoys the snacks Sa-eon ordered for her. She falls asleep and only heads to dinner later. Of course, her in-laws are not happy she did not arrive soon, even though Sa-eon explained she was sick. Wee-young starts running his mouth about how Hee-joo is mute and not doing her part. He argues that Il-kyung played them, and now they are stuck with a good-for-nothing daughter-in-law. Sa-eon gets up and asks the hotel staff to get the camera of the paparazzi stationed outside by his dad. He makes it clear that no threat or shady marketing will make him quit his job to help his dad. He humbles Wee-young by saying he got to where he was riding on his dad's work. Unlike him, Sa-eon has no plans to use his dad and clarifies he is no longer in his dad's shadow. He grabs Hee-joo and they start walking out. In the elevator, he asks her to disregard his dad's comment because they are not worthy of it. Hee-joo is moved and shocked, and she tries to free her hand, but he refuses to let her go. Sa-eon and Hee-joo head home. Sa-eon gets a call from Doje, who informs him that the kidnapper used fake teeth and animal blood in his recent threat. Hee-joo heads inside first and reflects on what the kidnapper said. She decides to throw away the phone, but changes her mind when Sa-eon offers to throw away the trash. As they fight over the trash bag, Hee-joo gets a call from her colleagues, wishing her the best in her interview. After the call, Sa-eon also wishes her the best, and she asks what will happen once she gets the job. She is worried their family will disagree, and Sa-eon suggests she stop being so obedient or worrying about what people will say. He walks to his room and gets a message from Doje about a new nursing home for his father-in-law. The next morning, Sa-eon gets to the office and Doje is quick to report that they are about to discover the gender of the kidnapper by analyzing the speech pattern. He also switches the topic to Sang-woo, reporting that the latter loves to cover arson and bombing cases. Sa-eon is intrigued when he learns that Sang-woo will appear in Yuri's show. After Doje, Young-woo reports that the interview for the sign language interpreter is about to start. Sa-eon options not to attend and watch the interview in his office. However, when he watches Hee-joo, he changes his mind and heads to the interview room. He calls her out for being too in sync with the trial video. and puts her through multiple rounds with different videos. Each time, Hee-joo does well, and he finally asks why she is so good. She responds by saying she used to study his video enough to guess his next word based on how he forms his mouth. She says she used to be crazy, and Sa-eon is flustered but tries not to show it. Finally, he asks to test her by reading a document on the spot. He starts narrating a story about a distant couple who love each other but refuse to tell the truth about their feelings. Hee-joo interprets and Sa-eon walks out soon after. He reflects on his conversation with Hee-joo from the night before and wonders what she is planning. Later, Hee-joo gets an alert about her dad's transfer and visits him at the new home. She is touched when her dad reveals that Sa-eon helped him move and got him new socks. She admits that she is unable to gauge Sa-eon's motive. 1 minute he is sweet and kind, and the other he is cold and distant. At the office, Sa-eon admits to Young-woo that he liked Hee-joo's efforts. In a flashback, we learn that they met when they were kids at a dinner. He has liked her since then. As he reminisces, he gets a message from Hee-joo thanking him for taking care of her dad. Later that night, Hee-joo learns that her sister is back in South Korea. She starts recalling the night her mom asked her to take Ina's place. That way, Sa-eon gave her a wedding ring and asked her to take care of it until the real owner shows up. She changes her mind and decides to keep the black phone. Meanwhile, Sa-eon calls Yuri on his way home to ask about Sang-woo. Yuri, being a blabbermouth, reveals that Sang-woo lives in an orphanage and Sa-eon guesses it is Nuri Dream Center. After his call with Yuri, the kidnapper calls. This time, she answers Sa-eon's question about what he will get if he leaves Hee-joo. Hee-joo brings up the return of her sister and asks if Sa-eon is okay with getting Ina back and divorcing her. However, Sa-eon explains that he and Ina have a deal they made the night before the wedding. For this reason, he can never marry Ina. He hangs up before Hee-joo can ask further questions. The next day at the event, Yeonju scolds Hee-joo for letting Sa-eon find out about her real dad. While she is in the ladies' room, Hee-joo overhears the girls badmouthing her while speaking highly of Ina, who did not show up. She heads back inside and sees Sa-eon talking to the nasty women. Disappointed, she takes a glass of wine and heads up to the rooftop. At 10 p.m., she calls Sa-eon as the kidnapper. When he picks up, she asks how he felt when Ina left him. He explains there was no big difference. She claims she is just a supplementary page of Ina and got blinded by the luxury. Sa-eon sets to her defense and asks the caller not to speak of his wife in a bad light. Sa-eon is on his way to the rooftop to bring a coat to Hee-joo. He talks about Hee-joo so lovingly that it shocks her to hear it. He admits that the first time he met Hee-joo, she was the only one who was quiet and made him feel at ease. Hee-joo starts to cry as she asks why he treated her so badly. The elevator dings and Sa-eon walks out to find her talking on the black phone.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.